The Red Dirt D&D podcast is brought to you by Pro Laser Cuts. The Oklahoma company provides pre-made and customizable design laser cut dice towers, tokens, and more, developed by a gamer for gamers, and now available to enhance your tabletop game. Pro Laser Cuts products can be found at many Oklahoma City area game stores, local events, and now available online at prolasercuts.com. That's laser and cuts with a Z, Pro Laser Cuts. And by SD Way Gaming, where dice goblins unite. Our friends at SD Way Gaming celebrate the beautiful dice players handpick for their games and splendor. SD Way Gaming has expanded to include many tabletop gaming varieties, accessories, and similar fun necessities to include a service for your dice addiction. You can shop for a variety of products at sdwaygaming.com or find SD Way Gaming on Facebook. Welcome to Red Dirt D&D. I'm Michael Cross, and I play Gideon Block, a paladin of Daga, bringing her justice to the wilds of Ritoya.
I'm Konnor Shenold, and I play Konnor with a K, the Kobold Sorcerer who's finally out of the bag.
I'm Johnny Payne, and I play Xonimus Dinar, a roguish warlock controlling his fate with chaos.
I'm Kiri Hester, and I play Poppy Tealeaf, a highborn halfling druid who has forsaken her family for the call of the frontier.
I'm Brooke Bullock, and I play Moran Stoneshaper, a young dwarf sorcerer wielding his arcane gifts to delve into the mysteries of the wilderness.
And I'm Ash King, your dungeon master. Join us now for Tales from the Callban Frontier. The night is tense. You are approaching the mesa, the place where you have been told you can find Wiley, Smokes, Moran, infamous outlaw, leader of the Black Smoke Gang. But also that this place is once home to a clan of Dragonborn, one of whom, a youngster by the name of Bembe, you have found out on the frontier, and he is currently leading you to the secret entrance that will take you into the mesa and into the lowest chamber of whatever hideout Wiley and his group have managed to dig out for themselves. The rock face looks fairly inconspicuous as Bembe leads you, but he eventually comes to a spot where he grabs into some natural handholds and strains a little as he pushes this rock to the side and looks back to you and gives a motion for you all to enter in.
Do we feel like he's going to go in with us or stay outside?
It seems like he probably wants to hang back a little bit, just in case. So he's going to show you how to get in, but as far as actually attacking or whatever you're planning to do, he's leaving that up to you.
Just basically watching our back, keeping guard on the entrance. That's what I was hoping for.
He will speak to Konnor in Draconic and says, you will go down this tunnel, and at the end of this tunnel there is another door that you will have to slide out of place. But once you have done that, you should be in the lowest layer of the mesa.
All right, and I'll relay that to the rest of the party.
If there's anything else we needed to do, all right, let's go in.
All right. So the tunnel that you have been led to, very rough cut, very dark, no light whatsoever.
This is me holding on to the back of Xonimus's belt.
It's about 30 feet long, zigzagging just a little into the mesa. But eventually you do come to another area of just solid rock. And feeling around it, you eventually catch some similar natural handholds to what Bembe had shown you. And you can try to kind of pry this door open.
Konnor, how far in the dark can Kobold see?
Pretty far.
Okay.
Might need some help on this one.
Yeah.
Not me.
Makra and I can together try to move this thing.
I think Moran is the strongest one in the group.
All right. Well, you're being assisted, Moran, so did you roll with advantage?
Oh, no, I didn't roll with
You're getting the help
advantage.
action.
That is a modified 16.
16, okay. So with a 16, you strain just a little bit, because again, it's big rock, hasn't been moved all that much, over the last, couple thousand years.
They're not using this.
Okay. From what Bembe had kind of told you, it seemed to be more like it was a emergency exit, and this was the first emergency that they'd had in a long time. So it's definitely very disused, but fortunately it doesn't seem to make a whole lot of noise as soon as you get it started rolling. It's just getting it started. So you slide this door open, and peeking your heads out, you actually find yourselves in a fairly well-cut space. So it looks to be as if they've used their time wisely and have really cleared this place out and reappropriated it for use.
Moran, of course, instantly looks for stone cutting and just the shape of it, the cut of it, and things like that. So I don't know if a modified 16 gives him any insights into age or style or anything like that.
With your stone cutting, you can tell this was definitely done ages ago. 5,000 years, the initial construction occurred. From the look of the architecture, not Dwarven, not Elven, not Dragonborn, primordial.
I never seen anything that blends corners, and I had never seen anything like this before.
In fact, some of the geodes look somewhat melted, as if they had suffered from very high heat.
By the princess, Konnor, you notice that? Look at that. Is that lava? Fire breath? Look at the heat damages right there with that. That's glassy.
Yeah, you don't normally see that.
When you delve deep, sometimes you get so far that you might find a lava flow that could be very dangerous, and it'll do things like similar to that.
Yeah.
It's gotta be Wiley's people because Screaming Gale is green. She ain't red.
Well, they ain't 5,000 years old as far as I know.
Right. So if this is 5,000 years ago, this
Is
is
people
made by
Cimarron.
one of the dragons.
elementals.
It could be primordial, Poppy.
That's what I was saying. Cimarron's people came from a different plane.
That's right.
So what you also see straight ahead of you would be continuing on to the west.
Yeah.
So to your immediate left is headed towards south. So that's how you're arranged. Towards the south, the hallway is much, much wider, about 20 feet wide on the sides. And the ceilings above you, round about the same. So this is like giving off massive warehouse vibes. Along that hallway, drawing your attention down, a good 150, 200 feet, a skyship that you can see clearly what is a work area. Not quite as large as the Princess's, the Promise that had crashed. Lighter, probably faster. But you see that it is sitting like a ship in dry dock, but it seems to be very nearly ready.
We didn't see the Les Promise. So as far as I'm concerned, this is still massively huge and impressive for anything. So I look over at Xonimus. Xonimus, does this look like something out of your memory?
Yes.
Yeah, it's very, very similar in construction. It's just smaller.
Yeah, this looks like one of the Empire's flying vessels, which will explain why we are finding sails, material for sails.
It's 3 or 4 times the size of Jasper's little longboat.
Yeah, that was just a little lifeboat. I don't know what his plan is with this, but I think we should try and destroy it.
What's the lighting situation?
So you have these kind of great lamps that are kind of hanging down that provide illumination. So it's fairly well lit.
Here's the real question. Can I see the boat?
You can.
Okay, because I can't see in the
this,
dark.
so this is a work area where people would have to be well
Got
lit.
it.
And you do
Lamps.
hear the sounds of work continuing.
Wait, so you guys hear that? I start looking around to see if I see people, anybody working, if I can maybe get a direction of it's behind that corner or on like a scaffolding up above or something.
It does seem to be coming from that same area down the hallway with the skyship.
Yeah.
It's definitely echoing. And it's kind of strange, Moran. It's reminds you a little bit of home. Because you know how the dwarves, when they're underground and they've got those work songs that they like to sing that help them keep time and help them pass the time. It's very similar to that, but it's not in Dwarven.
Do I recognize it?
Do you speak Primordial?
I do not. I speak Elven and Dwarven and Common.
Okay.
I think we all, except for Draconic from Konnor, I think we all pretty basically speak the normal Ritoya languages. Orc and Elvish here. I don't think any of us speak any exotic languages.
Again, it's very similar. It's that same cadence. It's that same kind of work song just to keep the motivation going. But yeah, it's all coming from that area.
How similar would it be to, like, it wouldn't remind me of dwarves, it would remind me of boats, like sailors and stuff like that.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, there is some similar...
Yeah, they're very similar types of songs.
Very similar kind of call and response, just,
So make sure that you're all on the same... I think probably all of us are kind of... That's that call response so that everyone knows they're on the same page while they're doing some major work. I am going to right now cast Locate Object.
Okay. And describe for me, what are you attempting to locate?
I am looking for Konnor's crystal.
You get the feeling of up, like it's above you.
And dumb question, but we've come in at level 1?
Level 4.
Bottom level.
4.
Level 4.
We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4,
And it
from
wasn't
top
as dumb
down.
as I thought.
I'm going to cast Locate Creature,
Okay.
looking for Wiley.
Wiley, up.
Wiley's here. He's here. That means he hasn't found Cimarron yet, so...
That's right.
And that one, so Locate Creature is concentration for an hour, so I can kind of hold on to him.
Could I try to guess about how long till this thing is ready to go, the ship?
You would probably have to get closer because you are a ways away. It's looking at something from a distance versus looking at something up close. So yeah, you'd have to get closer before you could say one way or the other.
Let's see if we can find a way up first, don't you think?
I mean, sure.
All right. And remember, we are not necessarily sneaking here. We belong here.
Inconspicuous.
But we belong here. As far as anyone's concerned, we are...
Y'all belong here.
If you do want to go
I'm
invisible,
going to
you
sneak.
can. Do you want to go invisible?
Yeah.
And the question is, does anyone want to go with him? Or does anyone else want to do anything?
No, I'm okay.
All right.
Not yet.
I can mouse later if I need to.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go invisible.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have one invisible kobold, and are the rest of you are you attempting to be stealthy, or are you just...
We're going to be stealthy, but not
walking?
like... We also want to act like we belong here if we're caught.
So you have the big long hallway that leads down into the workshop, and you can kind of see along the left and right of that hallway there are some little off branches. So you're not quite sure where those would lead, but then you do have the shorter hallway directly ahead of you to the west.
Probably where our stairs are.
So to the west or to the south?
Westward.
Go
Dogga
west.
told us to go west.
Go west, young man.
Go west.
Tell us to go west.
All right.
All right.
So you guys head up to the west, and this is particularly something that Moran may also be familiar with, because I feel like the dwarves would have developed lift technology.
You bet.
Dumbwaiter, pulley system. Yeah.
Yeah, so you do see in this alcove, there is a large platform that you do see a long wheel and chain set up so that you can raise or lower this platform.
Does it look like having type of automation to it, or does someone have to operate it from this location? Can we
You wouldn't necessarily have to operate it from the bottom location. It seems like it does have some sort of magic to it where you'd have to activate it to get it to go where you want it to.
Cool. Can I do like a little investigation to see if I can figure that out?
Investigation or Arcana.
Okay. So that would be a modified 15.
It's familiar enough that you kind of figure, oh, this button will start to raise, this button will lower. Expending the right amount of magical energy at the right time will make it go faster or slower.
And I share that with everyone. So it's kind of like a dwarven construction. It works the same way. And the longer you hold it down, the faster it's going to go up. So, just if you needed to run it by yourself, that's how it works.
All right. Well, let's, why don't we go up? Does it feel like it could go down?
No.
Okay. So this is as
No
far...
basement.
Well, no basement that this lift goes
This
to.
lift goes to, right?
Oh, I already squiggled it out.
Poppy and Gideon, can you tell how far away what we're looking for is?
I don't think so.
Do you get a range?
Do I feel something?
Will it shift from up to left?
That's only if we're moving. We haven't moved yet.
The way I'm picturing how this spell kind of works, in my brain is kind of like a hot or cold thing.
Gotcha.
So you feel a stronger pull depending on where you are.
Right.
That makes sense.
So let's take this up one level at a time and see if we feel anything.
All right. Konnor, are you in?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
This ain't quiet. So you've got some rattling going on, some shaking
Being confident.
as this lift
I stand behind the tall people.
takes you from floor 4, the factory floor, and begins to raise you up to the 3rd floor. You do have to kind of finagle it to make sure you pause at the right spot, but you find yourself in a very similar alcove, short hallway leading to the east.
Can I tell about how far up we raised? Can I use kind of my dwarven sense to...
I would say it's a good 25 to give it an extra, you got 5 foot of rock between you and the other floor, so that way,
Sound barrier.
Sound barrier.
So as we reach this 3rd level, do I feel like he is still higher up, or is he on our level?
You feel like you're on the same level.
All right.
What about me? I'm looking for Wiley.
Yeah.
So Wiley and the crystal are both on level 3?
Same level.
Okay, let's go east.
Stepping off the lift leads you to a fairly short hallway, about 15 feet before it swings around to the south again and widens up into a 10-foot hallway that, looking down the hallway, you see there is a throne on a dais.
Oh boy.
Currently unoccupied, but standing out a little farther, there appears to be a balcony as this massive window opens up, and you can kind of tell that you can hear the sounds from the factory floor up here. So it seems, as the Dragonborn had told you, the factory floor has a long shaft that seems to go straight, probably, in your guess, all the way up.
Steam and whistles, it's how they get it out of here. It's gonna go right up that shaft.
So this shaft is much bigger than I was thinking.
Oh, yes. You still hear that noise from the factory floor, the work, the singing, because again, with the acoustics, it just goes straight up. But yeah, so you guys are at the end of the hall here. Looking down, you see that throne. Poppy, your blinky sensor points you right out this way, because Wiley is one of the figures who is standing on that balcony. And standing next to him, you just see her from the back. Definitely a more feminine figure, dressed in very fine silks, dark hair kind of in a long plait over one shoulder. And they both kind of seem to be looking down. They really haven't heard you guys yet, just because of the distance betwixt the two, and also that their attention is more on what's going on below. But Wiley is straight ahead of you. The crystal, on the other hand, you get a sense that it is more to the southeast.
We're just at the edge of the hallway.
I will say, now that I see Wiley, I'm going to drop, locate creature, and pick up Pass Without Trace.
We want to
Give me a
sneak
stealth roll, please.
into the left-hand room.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone get a
this.
plus 10.
So 29.
Do I get advantage because I'm invisible?
Yes.
Okay.
I want this one.
What do we all get?
29.
29.
16.
28 for Moran.
19.
We're underground. This is my jam.
19?
19.
How did the paladin get lower than everybody? He rolled a 3.
I rolled a 6.
On stealth?
That's how.
Because you're
3.
thinking about where it's at,
Like
not
my
where your
armor.
feet are.
Yeah. Also, I am seething. There, part of me wants to run forward and just run him through.
I summon my bow,
Remember the plan.
knock an arrow, draw it back,
Okay.
and I whisper, "I'll kill you today, you son of a bitch." I swear this oath, and then I'll let it collapse back down. So the oath is sworn.
You are all trying to sneak into the room with the crystal? Okay.
Whoa, wait. Let me double check something.
I'm still gonna hang back a little bit. I'm not gonna go into that room just yet.
Okay.
Looking at the door of the room, I would like to cast Find Traps
Okay.
to see if the door is trapped. Technically, it's for anything within 120 feet.
Okay.
The spell would sense an area affected by the alarm spell, a glyph of warding, or a mechanical pit trap, but would not reveal a natural weakness in the floor, an unstable ceiling, or a hidden sinkhole.
Okay. Yeah. So the door in front of you is glyphed.
They're gonna know if we open that door.
They're gonna know.
I think I got this.
I believe in you.
Okay. Moran, standing there, goes over, and he's going to cast Dispel Magic on the glyph. Actually, I don't have to move over too close to it. It's 120 feet away, but yeah, so.
So yeah, with a Dispel Magic, it's a 3rd level spell, so
Sweet.
Nice.
you
Good job, team.
dismiss the glyph.
We were smart for once.
That's one for us. All right, let's walk in.
And yeah, other than that, the door is unlocked.
I think I got it. I think it's clear.
Okay, move stealthily into the room. Close the door behind us.
I'll scurry in real quick.
Okay.
Greetings and salutations, my friends. I'm Michael Cross. So great to have a moment to talk with you during this mid-show break. First off, I want to invite you all to join us as Patreon members. The money we raise helps us pay for things like the music and sound effects you hear on the show, as well as money to go to events and make new fans. When you become a Patreon member, you get our episodes 4 days early, bonus content, access to our Discord server, and full versions of our roundtable discussions. You'll be joining other fans like Scott Wise, Don Mills, Heath Mormon, and the Lady Kate. So join us right now at patreon.com/reddirtdnd. Another way to support us is by getting your very own Red Dirt merchandise. You can find things like hats, hoodies, mugs, and t-shirts. Just click on the merch tab at reddirtdnd.com or reddirtrpg.com. Since 2020, the Red Dirt D&D podcast has been close to another Oklahoma actual play Dungeons & Dragons podcast, D20 to Curtain. And me personally, I've had a chance to work on stage with some of the actors on the show. So when you get done with this episode, you should check them out.
Hello, fellow D&Ders. My name is Jerome.
I'm Jennifer. I'm Jody.
And together with our friends Kara, Timothy, and Jared, we are the cast of the D20 to Curtain podcast, where Oklahoma theater geeks and their friends hit record and explore our new addiction to Dungeons & Dragons.
We think D&D is more than just a game. It helps us tap into the enduring power of storytelling.
We combine live gameplay with behind-the-curtain episodes to share our experiences, insights, habits, discoveries, and passion for D&D with anyone who will listen.
We hope D20 to Curtain will make you laugh, cry, maybe even make your experience at your table even more satisfying. Check us out anywhere you listen to podcasts or visit us at d20tocurtain.com or at D20 to Curtain on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
We look forward to having you. All we ask is that you have fun, be kind, and play the role.
If you're looking for more content, make sure to check out our YouTube page with Mysteries of Beatrix live every Wednesday. Keys from the Golden Vault from the Red Dirt Outlaws dropping every Tuesday at noon, and Plausible Deniability every other Thursday at 7 p.m. So come check it out at youtube.com/@RedDirtRPG or search for Red Dirt RPG on YouTube. And we would love to hear from you. Find us on social media at Red Dirt RPG. You can also get in touch with us through our website at reddirtrpg.com. In the meantime, make sure and subscribe to this podcast and leave a comment on your favorite podcatcher so others can find us. All right, I think that's everything I need to tell you. Right now, let's head back to Red Dirt D&D.
Poppy, how many times can you do that locate trap thing?
I mean, it's a second level spell, so I can upcast it if I need to, but I only have one second level spell left.
Yeah, let's hold on.
All right.
How long does it last?
I think it's just one action.
It's just immediate?
Yeah.
And you find all the traps in
Within 120 feet of me.
So if there's anything in this room, you might still know that there's a trap?
It says casting time 1 action, so duration instantaneous, so I imagine no.
It's just whatever she sees.
Whatever I can see
It's
within
kind of like,
120.
just like a boom
The moment
out.
I cast it.
I would have to do it again in the room.
Yep.
Yeah, because there was barriers. She couldn't see. She didn't have line of sight.
But I can also check for traps. Since I have investigation, thieves' tools, and perception proficiencies, I should get an advantage.
Well, and I mean, this is the one thing that we came for.
I would say we try
So
it again.
this would be, this would.
Oh, sure.
Gideon, can you figure out where it's at exactly?
Yeah, let's find out.
Give me a perception check. Because this room, as soon as you enter in, Gideon, you're kind of familiar with this concept, I would imagine. This is basically a war room. You've got a large table taking up most of the center of the room. You actually see a huge map of the frontier that has been laid out with various sites and spots pointed out.
That may be the location of a emperor.
How far east does the map go?
Oh, it goes all the way, baby.
So all the way to the ocean?
All the way.
East, it does go all the way to the ocean, so it seems to be a stitched together modern and quote-unquote historical. It has all of the modern towns outlined, modern settlements that they're aware of, but then you also see pinpoints and places that you've either only heard about in legends or have never heard about, period. And a lot of the map is actually written in Primordial.
Rad. I will say before anybody touches anything, I'm gonna do find traps again, just in case anything is.
You can't do that as a ritual, can you?
No, it's only my second level slots, so I'll be fine. So, again, so the 120 feet should give me the whole room.
Other than, because this room isn't that large. It's only 15 by 20, so it's not the biggest room. But again, this is their war room. So they have the big table in the center, but then they've got shelves all along the walls with stuff. And I just mean stuff. Books, tomes,
rocks,
small boxes,
sticks.
Moran, give me Arcana check.
Oh, cheese and crackers.
I have Arcana.
So,
can I roll an Arcana?
That, dang it, it's only a modified 10.
19.
Gosh, dang it.
So, Poppy...
I'm so overwhelmed, I just don't know what to think.
Yeah, you're so overwhelmed, you're looking all over this place. So, Poppy, with a 19, so as you're looking around this room, you're realizing, wait a second, this looks a lot like what you would expect a court wizard's room to look like. Because you're pretty sure that at least 90% of everything here is either a spell component, a grimoire, and some other things that you could probably only dream of what they mean.
Listen, this room is super magical. There's a super magical, super powerful, can definitely kill us being that can come into this room.
Yeah, he's out there on the balcony.
It's a Fortunato guy.
I don't know. It might be Seraphina. Could be
Seraphina. We need to get...
But is anything trapped? Alarmed? No. Okay. You can...
it's kind of one of those things that, like, it seems like the glyph was the main point of contention, and it was more just for keep out the riffraff than anything.
Do I see my crystal?
Yeah, you do see the crystal.
The crystal.
The crystal.
But I will tell you, don't go
in the middle of the table.
In the middle of the table.
Don't go around touching strange things that you don't know what they are, because they might be accursed and you might die. Crystal's okay, but
I say if anyone would like to, you can give me a perception check.
Yeah.
Natural 20 on my perception check.
And I got a 26.
I've got a 10.
I got a 19.
Moran and Poppy.
Yeah.
The two of you see it placed in an area of prominence. Small box, lid open, fantastic ring. Radiates quite a bit of power.
Can I do an Arcana to see if I'm going to die if I touch it?
You may.
I just don't want to immediately die if I touch something. I got a nat 1.
Fine.
It's fine.
Go ahead and touch
Well,
it.
she's standing there looking at it, mocker, and just go right over and I close the lid, take the lid, put it in my pocket.
Hey,
Okie dokie.
I wanted them.
Get the crystal.
Konnor, do you still feel like you have a connection with this thing?
I don't know, DM, do I?
Do you touch it?
No.
Xonimus, do you not want him to touch it?
It's not trapped. They won't know if we touch it.
Doesn't mean they won't know, it just means it's not trapped.
If there was an alarm spell on it.
You know, it's connected to, the crystal's connected to Konnor.
It's connected to him,
What
so
if
he can't
it's-
get to it.
If it's not, though, that we're trying to find out. So if it's not still connected to Konnor, it's connected to Wiley, and all of a sudden Wiley hears, whoa, who's got me?
I don't think that's how it works, because Konnor could only talk to it when he was holding it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it can only do anything, can only actually cast anything with
I
it.
just have a few more things in this room I want to do before, great, the alarm's tripped, let's run.
What do you want to be doing while we were grabbing stuff? And he
I
was
want to
looking
look at this map for anything that says anything specific about the Emperor, the Emperor's holding places.
Can you read Primordial?
I can read anything.
You can read anything?
I can read anything. And it doesn't matter if it was 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago, 1,000,000 years ago. I have
It's a warlock thing,
I have
right?
the Roomkeeper, my warlock patron.
And what's it called again?
Eyes of the Room.
Eyes of the Roomkeeper.
Oh, that's amazing.
All right, so with your special eyes, what have been granted to you by the sneakiest of coyotes. You start to look over this map, and you do see far, far to the west, the farthest you can go before you hit the Storm Peaks, the mountain range that cradles the western half of the Kalban frontier. You do see a map point that states Cimarron's Palace. You also see near it a pinpoint that says Fire Portal to the north of your location, because this spot, the mesa, is listed as Skyship Repair Port. To the north of here, the Air Portal. Farther to the south, the Water Portal. You also see to the northwest is an area called the Ironwood. And past that, a series of mountains that are described as the Mother and the Three Daughters. And hidden in that area, you spot something labeled Earth Portal. And you see kind of a large area that's kind of circled, as if there's an understanding that this location they're looking for is somewhere within that radius, but they're not quite sure yet. You see written out, Thundercrack.
How big is that circle?
5 to 10 mile radius.
Yeah. I was thinking it was going to end up being like hundreds, so that's just very smaller.
They've narrowed it down, but they haven't quite hit it yet.
How big is this map?
So it's one of those big, like, campaign maps.
Like, it is bigger than the table.
It's not that.
You want to steal the map?
Heck yeah.
Why not?
I'm going to give it to the guy who's invisible.
So what I would say, it's not canvas, it's actually leather, like treated leather hide.
Yeah.
But it is a massive campaign map. You could probably conceivably roll it up to take it with you, but with the length and the weight, it would probably be fairly difficult to transport. Where's a magic crystal when you need one?
Okay.
Well, I mean...
Actually...
Oh God! Oh God! Kids!
Hey, Crystal, remember all this?
That's not.
No, but if we know the names of what to ask for,
yeah, we can.
And the thing
look
is,
for it.
Xonimus, unless you're saying this out loud, none of us.
So
know
yeah,
this yet.
Xonimus goes up and leans over the table and says, "Hey, come here, look at this. Over here by the Storm Peaks, this right here says Cimarron's Palace. Down here," and I start translating, just pointing and translating every piece. The air portal, water portal.
So I imagine that those portals actually line up with Key Guardians.
Mother and Three Daughters.
Iopix said he tends to stay in the north with his Pegasi, probably near the air portal. We know that Strom was to the south, which is where the water portal was, and where does Strom live? Lake Atias. I'm just saying, this makes a lot of sense. They had to go to these places to get the Key Guardians.
And this here, I'll rub my hand over the circle, and I'll look at Konnor and say it says Thundercrack. There is nothing specifically that says Cimarron Gitmo or Cimarron Supermax.
No, just Cimarron Palace.
Because his palace, that's where Etzel...
So it was in the house arrest?
No, listen, that's where... So the Red Dragonborn Key Guardian lived near Cimarron's Palace, which is not Cimarron Supermax.
I think that the Cimarron Supermax, as we're calling it...
I like it. I think it's a good name.
...is where we can find Thundercrack.
That would make sense, since she is the one that imprisoned him.
Exactly.
Like she's guarding him.
It would also explain why she hasn't been seen as frequently in the last 5,000 years as she was previous, according to legend and story, because she's been kind of staying near her little home circle.
So if we know... I look over at Xonimus. So Xonimus, if you know how to read this thing... Maybe we don't need the entire thing. Maybe we only need this section that has Thundercrack. We can remember everything else. We can use the Navi Crystal. But right now, what we need is this. And if they don't have it...
Well, if we take just this part, they're going to know that...
Do y'all not have paper? Just do a little map?
I want to make sure they don't have it.
Oh,
so either we take it or we burn it.
Yeah, I was about to say burn it. But before that, let me grab my crystal.
Yes, go grab the crystal.
I do have some asses.
As you all are...
No, I am grabbing my crystal first.
I'm still stealth.
He did. Konnor said explicitly that he grabbed it.
He grabbed it first.
Yeah,
a while ago.
Yeah, you've got your crystal, but...
but did I figure out if I'm attuned to it still or not?
Yes, you,
okay.
That energy, like, instantly, like, the two of you are connected once again.
I missed you. Hey, where did you go?
And you do feel that strange but familiar presence reach out and kind of brush against your mind. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
All right. No, it's not for me.
Konnor.
It's for me.
For Konnor.
You have +3.
Because you're near
Because you're
Gideon.
near Gideon.
Okay.
He's got an aura.
Hara.
16.
16. Okay. So you feel this presence brush against your mind. Strange thing. Very odd. And you almost get a feeling of disappointment after whatever this is passes across your mind. And you do hear that voice that spoke to you before and just says, well, we're back again, aren't we?
Yep. Finally back. I say in my mind.
Good. And as you're kind of communing with this crystal, the group of you do hear the door swing open, and then a feminine voice speaks and says, I wondered what little mice were sneaking around my house. Turning around, you see the absolutely most gorgeous woman you have probably seen in your entire lives. Dressed in very fine silks, jewelry dangling from ears, neck, wrists. She just tilts her head curiously.
I say, hail to the sunburned throne.
Hail to the sunburned throne.
Hail to the sunburned throne.
Oh, what a lovely little trick.
Hey, it was worth a try. I pull out my haunted rifle.
Can't blame a girl for trying.
You don't want to do that. Give me a wisdom save.
14.
She waves her hand. You don't want to do that. And you feel yourself magically compelled by a suggestion. And so you put down your gun.
Yeah, I didn't want to hold this gun anyway. It was kind of heavy, so I want to put it down anyway.
She kind of brings her fingers together. Oh, Wiley, I believe we have some new prisoners. As Wiley comes around the corner, tilts his head. Well, I expected them to show up at some point. Good to see you, Zani.
My invitation still hold.
Kind of tilts his head the other way. You want to come back?
You invited me here long ago.
That I did. But you've got your fine new friends. And I'll say, where is the little lizard?
I got friends that don't leave me for dead as I jump out loud to distract you from asking about Konnor.
Nicely done.
So, what I want to do while they're distracted, hopefully, is do a subtle spell.
Okay.
To where I don't have to do the verbal aspects of it. And while they're distracted, I want to prestidigitate that the crystal is still sitting on the table. How far into the door are they?
It's a small room. You guys are kind of crowded around the table here. Obviously where you're not supposed to be anyways.
Yeah.
So Seraphina's right at the door. And then Wiley is just kind of right back behind her, just kind of leaning against the wall slightly.
Okay.
As they ponder what to do with you.
Is your pass without a trace still up?
Technically, it shouldn't be.
Technically, yeah. Okay, yeah, while Wiley is being distracted with talking to Xonimus,
I'm gonna super distract him too.
I would like to try and sneak out of here.
Okay.
That's a 35.
Oh, 35.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the tiny little kobold, seeing an opening, skitters away. Actually, yeah, you make it out of the room. You make it back into the hallway, off and away. Of course, the rest of your party really has no idea where you are and are facing down Seraphina and Wiley. And Seraphina kind of looks over to Wiley and just says, what do you think? Should we deal with them or should we wait for Fortunato? And Wiley just kind of considers it as he walks up to you, Xonimus. Do you really want back in?
Do you really think he's right here? And I put my finger down in the middle of the circle marked Thundercrack.
There's really only one way to find out, isn't there?
Red Dirt D&D Tales from the Caliban Frontier is Ash King as our Dungeon Master, Brooke Bullock as Macron Stoneshaper, Johnny Payne as Xonimus Dinar, Kiri Hester as Poppy Tealeaf, and I'm Michael Cross as Gideon Block. Our theme music was created by the cinemagician P.J. Castillo. Our incidental music comes from Jeffrey McBride. Our sound effects and additional music courtesy of Monument Studios, Andrew Sitkov, and TabletopAudio.com. We here at Red Dirt D&D could really use your help in getting the word out about us. If you like what you've heard, make sure to rate us and leave a comment. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and RedDirtDnd.com. Tell your friends about Red Dirt D&D and share us on social media. And we have new content on our YouTube and Twitch pages. Just search for Red Dirt D&D. You can also support the show at patreon.com/RedDirtDnd. We have several giving levels, including early listening to shows and access to our Discord server. Join us next time as we go deeper into the Caliban frontier.
Again, it's very similar to that same cadence.
We dig in a mine the whole day through.
It's like, look for my crystal.
You're just pulling on my... hey, can you look for my crystal?
My stuff.
Hey, remember why we're here, guys? We're here to get my crystal back.
I'm going to do a spell too when you're done with Gideon.
Let's do row your boat. Let's do a tandem. Row your boat.
Row your boat gently down the stream. Gently down the stream. Merrily line the
discussion before they can do it.
That's on the internet now.
Do you want to go invisible?
Yeah.
Or you can save it. Do you need it?
I need it now.
Oh, okay.
It would be so suspicious if they saw a kobold and then it...
Oh, you can see me. No, you can't. Okay.
No, you don't.
Konnor out.
Pieces.
What kobold, Steve? You've been smoking the weed again, haven't you?
It's the deep weed. All right.
The weed.
Also want to act like we belong here if we're caught. We don't want to act like we're sneaking.
Confident stealth.
But not
Right.
sneaky.
Okay.
We don't want to say authorized personnel and you just walk right in like you belong
Go,
there.
someone go
I
find a
see a
clipboard.
clipboard. I'm picking it up.
I'm picking it up.
Steal somebody's ID
What are you
badge.
doing here? Name.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
What is your name?
Where are you supposed to be?
Chain doors and pull them closed.
Oh no, there's
no safety
There's no
doors.
safety rail.
No.
This was the Empire. They don't have handrails.
There's no OSHA here.
Steam and whistles there. Steam and whistles. There's absolutely no dwarven occupational hazardous.
We're gonna have to call Dosha.
whatsoever.
Dosha.
This is ridiculous. Dosha is gonna be
Dwarven.
There's all kinds of fines going on.
They're the evil
I don't
empire.
know.
They aren't worried about the safety of their men.
These guys really need to unionize.
I'm done. Let's go home.
We have peace.
That's the episode.
Mic has been dropped.
So Wiley and the crystal are both on level 3?
Same level.
Living quarters, dangerous people.
It's gonna be right next to that crystal.
He's
sleeping in
It's
his
in his pocket, I imagine. He's just talking to it because he needs
Curls
a
up
friend.
around it at night.
He actually swallowed it, so that way it's...
Just gonna have to cut him open, Xonimus.
Darn.
Give me the map. Give me the crystal.
You can just do the rest of this campaign on your own. That's what
Yeah. Bye,
Deuces.
guys. I told you I was the main character.
Is there,
Can we roll it up? I'm just making sure. I'm pretty sure if it's canvas, we can just roll it up and then.
Yeah.
But I'm making sure it's not a Game of Thrones. It's the table.
it's a giant stone slab
Yeah.
set in
We
the
just,
mountain.
like, drag the
room's
table.
built around. Cut the edge of it.
Fairly difficult to transport.
What if you run a blade down
I'm
it
gonna say,
three
what if
ways?
we cut it in 5 pieces?
Is now the
man.
time to retcon that Connor's bag is a bag of holding?
I know. I was thinking the same thing. I want a bag of holding
Has
so
a,
bad right now.
Photographic memory. We got a bag of holding. We got.
I pull out my phone, start taking pictures.
Palace, which is not Cimarron Supermax,
And
as far as we know.
And I'm thinking maybe Cimarron Cinemax.
Skinamax!
He's got a theater now? Wow, I want to visit his palace.
The Cimarron Tripleplex. The Cimarron
Supermax.
Because what
She
a
could be
better
guarding it,
what a
that
better
would-
guard for Cimarron.
She is the one
than
that-
Thundermax herself.
Do we need to try this whole thing? Michael, do you want to just rewind and try everything over again?
Right, yes I do.
Okay, let's.
All right.
Welcome to Red Dirt D&D. This is Jacoby Blackhand.
Last
He's gonna
10
hire
minutes
us.
of this thing and my mouth doesn't work.
Try again.
Okay.
All right.
Take 2.
While Wiley is being distracted with talking to
I'm gonna
Xonimus,
super distract him too. I got a thing.
He's gonna take off his shirt.
No.
Lets the coat slide down.
Somewhere from the back, Pony by Genuine kicks out.
Just bite my bottom lip.
Give him the smolder.
that's a 35.
35.
At all.
Beat that with your perception.
Heck, Konnor doesn't even know where Connor's at.
I just poof downstairs.
Where am I?
Where did I go?